thinking maybe I can sneak in a little flight for some practice. I don't know if the rain's gonna come though. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow. With that credit card fraud yesterday, I tried to follow up just to find out if I could get any more information from Apple to find out what was going on. And the funny thing was, when I phoned in, the person asked, okay, let me try to check it. Can I see your Apple ID or have your Apple ID? I'm like, do I even have an Apple ID? And even the guy was laughing, what? You don't even have an Apple ID? Then for sure you've been like compromised like for whatever reason. I was actually trying to find out saying, okay, well, can I give you my credit card number and you tell me, for example, who charged this? Isn't it that easy, like to find the person? But then he was telling me, oh, unfortunately, he can't divulge that information for privacy reasons. Makes me wonder, how would you go about with that usually? Isn't that considered identity theft in many ways if someone's using your card? Hoping everything's gonna go okay, because I see in the pending charges, it's actually still there in the pending charge, even though that guy in the Apple said, oh, don't worry, if they're handling it, it won't go through. I see like the new credit card number and stuff that they gave me, but yeah, hopefully everything goes through, because yeah, I don't want to pay $1,300 for something I didn't buy or whatever. If I had that much money just to throw away just like that, I'd probably buy something else, like a better camera or something like that, or maybe even more drone stuff just so I can capture better stuff to document and all. And even the person with the bank, when they phoned me, they're asking like, is there anything you can think of that may have resulted in this? Giving away your password, lost ID and stuff like that. I did actually have that happen, but that was a long time ago. That time I actually froze my credit information and all that. And to my knowledge, it should be okay. The only thing weird that happened from that was, I believe it was about 3 years later or so, I got this phone call from a doctor's office or something like that saying, we just want to confirm your booking for this surgery or whatever. I still remember that day too. The stupid thing was I phoned into that doctor's office or whatever. Says, what are you talking about? That's not me. And if they could in any way try to, you know, investigate it somehow, because again, that would be a crime, correct? But apparently the lady on the phone tells me literally, just from the doctor's office, sorry, that's not my problem. And she can't do anything. I was like, what the hell? So that I had to go to the police station and all that, and they talked about it and said, yeah, they'll try to look into it and all that. I've never heard anything come out of that though. It makes me wonder if this is related, but I highly doubt it. Holy cow, what's with all these crows and stuff here just circling everywhere? I remember last time you guys told me when they do that, there's usually like an animal or something inside. It makes me wonder if there's a bear or something here. Lots of interesting drone-related stuff today, mostly positive. The first one I read was this: DJI expands its enterprise business with 2 new drones and FlightHub software. Now, to my understanding with this FlightHub software, it's supposed to enable them to control multiple drones at once while keeping track of who's flying what. At the same time, it helps to coordinate, I guess, with safety missions. Like for example, I guess a big deal before was, let's say you have a drone flyer, hey, I can see there's something here, but then you need to contact the captain or something like that saying, can I do this? Instead of just relying just basically on a radio signal, I guess you have kind of like a central unit where you can monitor everything. And they said it's supposed to be a way to, I guess, for transparency, so you can show the public what's your flight missions and everything like that. So I guess that's kind of a good step forward, although this stuff is meant more for commercial enterprise use, not for recreational people. Makes you wonder if we can use that as recreational people in the future too though, just to control more than one drone at once. Or would something like this actually be good for things like FPV racing events, where you have this software tell you exactly where everybody is flying, so you can give people like an analysis. Maybe on the bottom left of the screen you see the map. It reminds me of like a video game, and then you can actually see the camera angles of whoever you want to see depending on what you choose. And there was this story here. It says, drone used to find missing woman in North Carolina cornfield, the video shows. So it looked like someone basically got lost in literally like a cornfield. She couldn't find her way out, I guess because it's too tall. And it says here, an 81-year-old woman who was lost in North Carolina cornfield on Sunday was found in less than 30 minutes after officials used a drone to locate her. A video released by the police showed this basically. It says Mary Brown was walking near her home when she got lost about 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, and the Randolph County Police launched a drone to locate her after the difficult terrain and cornfield slowed down the search. I mean, that's great. You should use a drone for like that. And they showed basically like a video of how easy it was. It kind of reminds me of just practicing in open fields to fly. But that's great to see more stuff like that and to show the efficiency. I mean, that's one of my examples too. Like, let's pretend I'm a recreational drone flyer, like here, like in a field or something like that, and there's someone lost. I just read in the news all of a sudden, I could be hiking, and it says, if you've seen this person, please let us know. What if I can fly my drone and try to potentially help find the person, but then the regulation says, nope, sorry, you can't fly because of this or whatever. Like, there should be some kind of balance when people can use it in that way, since the tool is available. Actually makes me wonder for this news too, whether or not it's released just to try to tell people that the technology can be used in a good way. Because it says here at that Sheriff's County office page, the drone program at the Sheriff's office is one of our newest projects and one more project in an effort from going from good to great in professional community service. Again, it makes me wonder if they release this just to show people, because I believe somewhere, like I read before, in other parts of the US, people are saying no, like the police shouldn't have drones just because they think you'll use it in devious ways. So I wonder if this is kind of like a public relations kind of thing too for them to show this. And the last interesting thing I read, we always talk about drones and privacy in terms of whether or not you'd buy equipment that insists in keeping track of you with things like the internet. How about a drone that basically destroys itself after it flies its mission? It says here, MIT founded Morse developed single-use disappearing drone for DARPA. I believe this was for a competition before. It says DARPA, the Pentagon's world-renowned Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency for Experimental Tech, challenged researchers in 2015 to develop aerial disappearing delivery vehicles. The goal was to create drones that would be deployed from an aircraft, deliver their payloads, and literally disappear. Essentially, there'd be nothing left of the UAV besides the item it was carrying and the small tennis ball sized guidance system. And they even show you a picture. It says this is what the item or material looks like when it disintegrates. Dissolving polymer material mid-disintegration due to heat and or sunshine. So yeah, literally it flies its mission and then because of the weather, it's gone. Can you imagine flying something like this? It makes me wonder again about those privacy things and all that. Imagine selling something like that in the consumer show. Holy, that would make everyone go nuts in terms of regulations and all that. That'd be the way of the future just for like a regular user to deliver stuff. I would imagine that's way too expensive. It's probably better to have something that's reusable that flies back and forth, or would it be cheaper just to fly to one way and then that's it? Maybe during a long distance travel, but I guess for regular everyday use, again, this isn't meant for recreational, but it's still kind of cool to think about that it's even possible. Alright, I think I saw little drops of water just a couple of minutes ago. Let's see what we can get before it comes down really hard, because it's actually kind of blue sky over there. Ah, darn it. I couldn't get all the shots that I wanted to because the light just isn't enough for things like the Mavic Pro. It just doesn't exactly have the best sensors for the camera. It's meant more for the portability overall. So consider this one, I guess it was a test more of the ISO 200 again, just to see how grainy it gets. I know those other times when I tried it, it looks so blurry, like even bumping it up a little bit. In terms of getting a gimbal that'll make the walks better, it probably would. I'd like to do something a little higher quality and all that. It just comes down to things like the resources, the portability, the finances, and all that stuff as usual. I don't know if I would use the Osmo though, because just from what I've read, it actually takes a while for that thing to start up. And for this camera anyways, right now, I like it the way where I whip it out, I start recording, and then it goes. I can't really use something that starts up, because who knows, a lot of those last minute shots, they literally come in like in the last minute, usually when I carry stuff like this. So I need something kind of portable as well, that's functional in a practical situation. Because I'm just thinking, like, if I was to use something like a gimbal that required that kind of a setup, I'd rather get, like, say, a camera that's actually good in low light, because I usually go to a lot of the events and stuff that you guys may see, like the fireworks and all that. I'd rather put some kind of gimbal and stuff on that if I have to go through that process. So that's just my quick thoughts for now in terms of the resources and stuff for the cameras. Other than that, I gotta get to my martial arts now. See you guys later.